Hey, Editor Elijah here. Don't worry, I won't take a lot of your time before we get into the real episode, but I did just want to talk about the recent news that the Acolyte has been canceled. I'm sure we'll go more in depth on this in the next episode, but I just kind of wanted to take a second to talk about it. I am super discouraged by this news. Don't get me wrong, I feel like there are genuine critiques of the series, but Disney canceling the Acolyte here, I think shows a real lack of vision on their part. I just want y'all to take a second and imagine if, like, the Clone Wars had been canceled Season 1, or after Season 1, right? Because it is the weakest out of the seasons. Or another example within Star Wars is Star Wars Rebels. I strongly feel like, while I still enjoy Season 1, it is definitely the weakest out of the 3 seasons. To take a step away from Star Wars, Avatar: The Last Airbender, my favorite series of all time. Season 1, very clearly the weakest season out of the 3. Not that it's bad, just the show continued to get better as it went on. And so it's really discouraging to see Disney cancel the Acolyte here, because the show didn't even have a chance. They clearly were setting up more and some really cool stuff, which I won't talk about now because it's more into the series spoilery stuff that the other two hosts haven't had a chance to see yet. But again, it was just very clear they had a lot more to say and to show us. And I was really hoping, because as far as I know, at the time of recording this, Disney has not put out an official statement. So I was really hoping that this was just a rumor that got blown way out of proportion. But it looks like that's not the case, because several cast members have started to speak about the cancellation. Again, there is very valid critiques of this show, but I just feel like Disney is bending a knee here to the toxic part of the Star Wars community, and it sucks to see them get their way. Anyway, that was just a little mini rant from me on my end. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy the episode.
All wings report in.
HouseDog, standing by.
MotherGoose, standing by.
Lowtech Tuck, standing by.
Lock S foils in attack position. Animal Squadron ready for battle.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Animal Squadron podcast. I am your host, HouseDog, and with me, as always, my best friend in the whole entire world, the Chewie to my Han, the one and only, Lowtech Tuck.
Oh,
Switched it on up on him.
Okay.
Oh man, I was
prepared.
preparing. I was preparing what I was gonna say, but no, you threw me off. You threw me off. Thank you.
Welcome back,
I feel
Tuck.
honored.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
It's
I'm
another
doing
week
well. Yeah.
of just you and I reviewing episodes together.
Just
Oh wait,
smack
no.
and tug.
Oh wait, no. There he is. He's decided to come back to us. He's finally decided he's not too good
Decided
for
to
us.
spend some time with the boys.
The Minoc himself.
Oh wow.
Wow. Okay.
Well, without further ado, everyone give a big welcome back to Elijah.
Hello. Glad to be back. I missed you, boys.
And I have to say,
missed
even
you
though you didn't technically co-host the show last week, you did come in and talk to everyone.
Oh yeah, he said what's up.
Post episode.
He said what's happening.
Had to talk to the boys. Had to come in with my editor magic.
That's right. And in fact, magic's an understatement for what you're able to do, big fella.
Thank you, Tukey. I'm
Hey,
honored.
Tuck, how does Elijah taste? Is it good? Do you
I'm
like
not
it?
even gonna dignify with that with a comment.
Is it good?
Hey, you're the
we
one
all-
who said you wanted to kiss me earlier.
Also, we all have socks on, so it's fine.
I
Is it
don't
good,
have
Tuck?
socks on.
Is it
Oh
good?
no, Elijah. You gotta tell me these things, man. Oh no.
No, not the raw dog. Not the raw dog.
Ha ha.
What is it with this show? Half the time I record without a shirt. Elijah never has any socks on.
Well, that's so you know when I say I want to kiss you, I mean it.
That's right.
To be fair, it does get kind of hot in my office. That's usually why I'm shirtless. That and I just like not wearing a shirt. But I made a point to wear a shirt today so nobody could say anything to me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Feel
Now my
honored.
shorts, on the other hand.
It's a mystery.
Are they there?
I am wearing shorts, but they're rather small.
Oh, nice. I like
Well, maybe we just leave that to the imagination.
them. I
Imagine
know
all
I'm
you
thinking
want.
about it.
Or you can see it for real. We're still an audio-only show.
Oh, today we're talking about The Acolyte. Still, this is episode 4, Day.
Day.
This was, I think, the shortest episode yet. I could be wrong, but it definitely felt very short. What did you boys think about it?
Go ahead, Tuck.
I mean, it's a good point that it's probably the shortest one. It definitely felt short, and the reason I say that's actually I mean it in a good way, just because I feel like it moves really fast. Like, so much happens that it just feels short. I mean, it could have been 40 minutes, and I just wouldn't know. It just did a really good job at holding my attention, I felt like.
Yeah, I just checked. It is the shortest at 34 minutes. So probably closer to like 27, 28 maybe after credits.
I liked it way better than last week's episode.
That's fair.
And I did enjoy this episode a lot more. I actually was pleasantly surprised that Tuck and I were talking about it last episode after you abandoned us.
Sorry, Pookie.
You'll never be able to say sorry enough to heal the wound in my heart, but
I bet you can. I bet you can.
this episode I actually got to watch this week and enjoy. And I didn't feel like I had to dig out Acolyte from its own hole this week, which was nice. I hope that continues.
Yeah, same.
But Elijah, did you have any thoughts about last week's episode before we go to this one? Just any quick
no, I mean,
things?
nothing that you guys really didn't talk about. I liked last episode. Sorry, episode 3 I enjoyed. I feel like you boys did a really good job covering everything.
Thanks,
Like,
homie.
there were a few thoughts where I was like, I really want to talk about this, and so if the boys don't bring it up, I'll cut myself in and bring it up, but I never actually ended up having to do that.
Wow. So we did good while you were away?
You guys did great. So proud.
These-
Did we do
These
good,
couple of
Papa
mice.
Elijah? Did we do
Yes.
good?
Yes, my boys.
We record
we
sound
did-
smart.
We did. I think Tuck and I stayed pretty on task for having no oversight.
I'd say pretty solid. I'd
You
say
did.
pretty solid.
You did.
I'd say,
And
honestly,
I-
it was our best work, probably, of
Yeah.
you and I. Yeah.
I
pretty
would say so. And I had been at the golf course like that whole day, so I came back home. I was feeling good. Had a couple beers. I was like, this episode's going to be real interesting. It's just me and Tuck, and I've been drinking, so who knows what'll happen.
We made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
For sure. But no, this episode I also really enjoyed. I feel like the pacing's like really, I don't know, like comparing it to the first 3 episodes, I feel like there was a lot of setup, so the pacing was a little slower. Not that that was a bad thing. It was important. We needed that setup. But I feel like the story's actually really starting to take off here with this episode.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely feels like we're settling into characters more rather than just having a bunch of explanation for everyone.
I must admit, though, after we recorded episode 2, I knew that I wasn't going to be there for episode 3, so I was like, oh, I'll just go ahead and watch it. And then I watched the whole series. Sorry, boys. I couldn't help
Elijah!
myself.
This
I
man.
couldn't help myself.
This man. You obsessive goblin, you.
I know. I fought it off. I fought it off for several episodes at least.
You know what? No, you deserve this too.
Wow. It's just me. Okay. All right. No, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, boys. Welcome back.
Hello.
I'm actually kind of low-key hurt, Elijah. I thought we were doing this as a
sorry.
team.
I'm sorry.
Wait, you mean how both of you always watch everything and leave me in the dark? I'm just saying.
But this time we're on the same team, Tuck. Come on. This is week 2 of being nice to you. Don't make me take it back.
Listen,
My love
At
is
least-
conditional. You both know this.
oh yeah,
at
no, we know.
least I made it 2 weeks. At least I made it 2 weeks. It's the longest I've gone so far.
That's true. That's true. In true addict fashion, I am proud of you.
Yeah, as
Thank
a Star Wars crack addict, I can say that I understand why you did what you did. But just like true addiction in the real world, I just hate to see you suffer, Elijah, because you're only hurting not only yourself, but everyone around you.
I know. I'm sorry, boys. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. A lot of this episode is kind of just we've finding our Wookiee, which was the setup of the end of episode 2, which then obviously with 3 we had our flashback. I was really surprised. I thought the Wookiee was going to play a larger role here.
I'm so upset about this.
Yeah.
So upset. Because he was in the trailer.
Yeah. It's like, what was it? The second G.I. Joe film where they had Channing Tatum, like, in all the scenes in the trailer, and then they killed him off in the first 5-10 minutes.
I have not seen G.I. Joe.
Sorry, spoilers for a 10-15-year-old movie.
Wow, the second time he's wounded me this episode. Let's see how far he'll go.
Was that your number one plan for Friday night? Was watch G.I. Joe 2?
How'd you know? No, it was my plan tonight. I was going to skip the first one and go straight into G.I. Joe 2.
The natural thing. The natural thing.
For sure. I didn't really take notes. I'm not gonna lie. Also,
I did.
While I'm omitting things.
I did. I can take us through chronologically, and everybody else can comment off of my harebrained thoughts.
Thank
I
you.
like it. Go for it.
Number one thought: why Wookiee in robe?
Why robe Wookiee?
I didn't get that. It opens up with Kelnak on Kofor. Say that 5 times fast.
Count on Kofor. Yeah, I can't even do it once.
Counterpoint. Star Wars Holiday Special.
Also,
Lots
two
of Wookiees in
Also, two
robes.
Wookiee Jedi. Must wear
Yeah.
robe.
But he's like exiled or whatever.
No, he was sent
I
there by the
actually don't-
council. It says that.
Yeah, because they later in the episode they specifically like send a team to bring him back. So I think he was supposed to be there.
Yeah, I thought it was more of like a self-exile thing. Like instead of the bearish vow, he kind of just
Yeah. Well, that is
left.
interesting because they do send him there, but then it says then like after a certain amount of time, I forget how long it is, like they lost contact with him.
Yeah.
So maybe he
Right.
like intentionally broke contact. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, but we get Master Kelnak in his ship hut place, and
Yeah,
he's
man.
just whipping it up. And there's all these like yin yang symbols everywhere, and also like Osha's tattoo is like in
Yeah.
the metal and everything, which was cool. But
Yeah.
the opening symbols looked like yin yang symbols to me that he has on the walls and everything.
Yeah, on the wall, the main one I noticed was the Children of the Thread symbol,
Yeah.
where
me
it's like
too.
almost like a Milky Way kind of shape, and it's like beadwork.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty buzzed whenever I watched the last episode, so everything is kind of a big blur.
Would you say that that's par for the course?
Ha
You're,
ha.
you're
I
lucky
get
that I
it.
don't. You're lucky that I don't like Elijah this episode. Otherwise, I'd be burning you to the ground. But since I love you, that was a good joke, Tuck.
Yeah, no, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of that. It took some thought. I had to throw it
Hey,
at you.
Tuck.
What?
Just remember, my love isn't conditional.
Oh, I know it. Neither is mine.
But that's
Neither
what makes
is
mine
mine.
so much more appealing.
You'll never drive us apart, Mac.
It's true.
I might be bordering on abuse, honestly. But yeah, so
As long
he's
as we
whipping
keep
it up.
laughing.
He's whipping it up in his hut, His food looks pretty good. And then I noticed he still wears his saber too. The last shot we get of Kelnak there on Kofar. And then we switch back to Coruscant and we get the return of the Jedi mullet that we see Obi-Wan sport in episode 2, but from a different Jedi master teaching some younglings.
Are you
Oh,
talking
Or
about the
some
redhead guy?
Padawans.
Yeah.
The redhead guy? Yeah, he was pretty cool.
More Jedi need more mullets.
I agree.
I'm all for the Jedi mullet.
Yeah. Now we just
but
need
yeah.
one that's really country that says, "Hell yeah, brother."
Yeah.
You think there's any like backwoods Jedi in the order?
I kind of hope so. Also,
yeah.
I just started listening to. I promise this is relevant, but I just started listening to the audiobook of Master and Apprentice, right? And for whatever reason, the dude who reads that book gave Mace Windu a Southern accent, and it just really cracks me up. It's like, well, Obi-Wan.
I need you to record it and send it in the Discord, please, because I need to hear that.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I found it kind of shocking though. Whenever I first heard it, I was like, "Wait, who's talking? Oh, it's Mace Windu." That's a
Maybe
choice.
he's just like
That's a
watched
choice.
Django.
Yeah, maybe he was mixing up Samuel L. Jackson characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get the Jedi training scene, and I really like that Osha came to say goodbye to little Padawan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Her name's like Jackie or Jackie, I think. I'm not sure.
that sounds right.
Editor Elijah.
I'll put it in. I'll go to the credits, see if I can find it.
But my main point here was their whole talk was that I like that she came to say goodbye, and that she also, Osha just decided, she was like, I don't belong here. I don't feel that I belong here. I'm going to go return back to my... I really like that for her as a character, that she decided that she wanted to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And not that she was told to leave. She was like, okay, it's time for me to get my life back on track. I obviously have some trauma to deal with from seeing my sister again, but being here in the temple is not going to help me with that. I don't desire to return to the order.
Yeah.
Which I really like that for her.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else while we're still on Coruscant?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, then we go back to Kofar, and this time it's May and Kamir
Come here. Yep.
just landing. And Kamir and May are talking, and it's just kind of a background thing. But he's like, you can't make it around this forest without me. And something to that effect, and then trips over one of their like boxes full of stuff.
Yeah.
And they have a whole dialogue here. And you know, I still think Kamir's the homie. I like him. If I was in Star Wars, I'd still think I would be Kamir. But from this first talk that they have whenever they first get on the planet, I think Kamir has an ulterior motive. Or he's on a separate mission from May. I don't think he's necessarily there to see May succeed. And I think what happens later in the episode supports my idea.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I think he's definitely there to like make May follow a certain plan because of the whatever instructions he's received from the master.
Do you think, like, is there a possibility? Are you saying that, like, maybe Kamir's there to distract May?
No.
Or
not
what are you saying?
No, I think he's just there to like kind of push her on a certain path without her realizing it.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I had realized, well, through their conversation that I thought was interesting as well, is that he very clearly went there at a certain time before to figure out where
Yeah.
the Wookiee is.
Kelnak. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I said I think he has some separate instructions from the master to ensure that May does certain things. Maybe not necessarily that she completes her task of killing all 4 of the Jedi, but that she's supposed to do something. She's supposed to get to a point, and Kamir is there to make sure she gets to that point.
And maybe it's just seeing that, like, you know, because she's tasked with killing the Jedi without a weapon. Maybe it's just seeing that she does it and, you know, That way she can't lie.
Yeah.
With this episode, I think May has always just been a pawn and that she was never gonna be accepted into the Acolyte position. She was just a pawn for the grander plan that the Master has.
Interesting.
And that
okay.
May would be thrown away at the first opportunity.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Sidious and Maul situation. Or Sidious and Dooku situation where he serves a purpose up until a point, and then you've fulfilled your task in my plan. Goodbye now. Thank you for your help.
Yeah. Which, it's funny you bring that, because I think that's actually just also kind of how the Sith operate to a degree.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, because there's not really many instances I can think of where their apprentices or apprentice are really worth that much to them.
Well,
I mean, they're worth whatever they can give, and then whenever they stop, whenever they're not able to accomplish what the Master wants them to, then they're not worth anything.
Yeah, this show gives me a really heavy, I mean, so far with what we've seen with the Sith aspect of this show, it gives me really heavy, old EU Plagueis novel vibes, where it goes into it in that novel multiple times in great detail, how it's always understood between Master and Apprentice on the Sith side. The Master is always striving to not give the full knowledge to the Apprentice, because he knows that one day the Apprentice will kill him, and it's almost like a hopeful thing that the Apprentice will kill the Master, but that the Master may not necessarily kill the Apprentice, but teach him another lesson of, I haven't taught you all my tricks, young one.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
But that was all on with Kamir and May so far, and then we flash back again to Coruscant, and we're in the meeting room with the small council that was mentioned before in the other episode where Sol has to return. And Elijah, R2-D2 noise, but as soon as I saw him, all I could think was Kiadi.
He's the worst. I'm so mad it's Kiadi Mundi.
He's always been the worst, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people really pissed that they brought Kiadi Mundi back because of we thought he was around 50 during the age of the prequels because of a book that's not canon. So, I mean, it's okay in the aspect, at least to me, that they changed his age to make him old enough to be in it. But why'd they have to pick Kiadi Mundi, right?
Well, I think they do it on purpose because I think it fits the overall story.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could sum up as far as like what is wrong with the Jedi Order, Kiadi Mundi is pretty up there as far as like one of the number one issues. And so, I mean, to have him there as like, you know, one of the longest standing Jedi, I think makes a lot of sense for the overall story and why the Jedi are just on a slow decline for like 200 years.
Well, and then of course the mission that they give to Anakin in episode 3, Kiadi's a part of, you know, the Grand Council. Mm-hmm. And it would make sense for him to be in this small council meeting in Acolyte where they're doing the same things that we see in the prequels.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, too, I mean, this is the same guy that, I mean, this may not be canon anymore either, but, like, you know, he's given that special allowance to have a family and children, and then he just leaves them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of dude.
What'd you guys think of the meeting? I'm not a huge fan of Vern, and I haven't been for a couple episodes. She's kind of like up there with Kiadi right now.
Yeah, there's something going on with Vern.
Tukerson, any thoughts?
There's something going on with Vern. I actually don't know. I think in that part I may have been like looking at my phone or something because I don't really remember what she says.
Basically, the whole idea of the meeting is we have to find out who the master is. How are we going to draw out May to find out who's the master? We have to keep all of this secret because someone is teaching them Jedi arts. It has to be a former Jedi. That's the only way this could happen.
Okay. That's sounding more familiar now. Yeah.
which is basically what we see in the prequels with whenever they first discover Maul on Tatooine. They're like, Qui-Gon tells him he was obviously trained in the Jedi arts, but I don't think he was a Jedi. I think I encountered a Sith. And the council's just like, oh, actually, perfect point. Kiadi's the one that says, but the Sith have been gone for almost like, what, a millennium?
1,000 years. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because
So, hey, man,
he's Kiadi and he sucks.
it's rhyming, baby. It's rhyming.
Well, yeah, but also that's why I'm kind of glad with the Kiadi Moonday decision, because I think he fits in very well. Just given the absolute piece of crap that he is. So
I'd much rather be him than it had been like Plo Koon or Oppo Rancis or someone like that.
Or
yeah,
the Grandmaster himself.
Or real.
Yariel Poof.
but also too. But the problem with those is that like every single one of those Jedi, even including Yariel Poof, would have been too reasonable.
Yeah.
They would have figured it out that there's.
Is Oppo Rancis the snake-looking guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the long beard and everything, and he's only in episode 1 and 2.
I believe. Mm-hmm. Maybe 2 as well. Yeah.
I think he's in 2.
Yeah,
his
I believe
species does have a long life as well.
Yeah, but the reason you can't pick those characters though for the small council is, I mean, it wouldn't have made any sense because they would have figured it out.
Yeah.
Because they're all good quality Jedi and people, and they're not total turds like Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Right. They would have seen that what they were doing here was suspicious, especially keeping it from the High Council.
Yeah.
I feel like Mace would have been on this council too.
Yeah.
I could see it. Especially a young, like, idealistic Mace, I think absolutely would have been on this council for sure.
Yeah. Something I really liked about this scene, though, is that one of the Jedi specifically brought up the possibility of it being like a splinter order or like another order of Jedi.
Well, it's the chick that's next to Kiadi in the meeting.
Yeah. Which they don't talk about it long because somebody's like, or something worse, hinting that it could be maybe the Sith. But I just really like that that's kind of where their minds went first, that, oh, it must be another group of Jedi who left the Order.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but one thing I like about that, though, is just in the time when they think the Sith are dead. I mean, because that is what is most likely to have happened in their minds, because that's what they've seen before.
But I don't know, because... And this is canon, or I want to say it is, there's only the lost, it's like 20 or something?
What?
20 or 13.
You mean in that 1,000 years, there's only one group of rogue Jedi?
No, the lost 20 are the ones that left the Order. I mean, in the archive, well, in the library, they all have a bust. Like, Dooku has a bust in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they're part of the Lost 20, or is it? What is it? Can you look that up, Elijah?
I thought it was like 13 or something like that.
Oh, also, her name is Jecki. Jecky. I did look it up. I just forgot to mention it.
Oh.
Yes, the Lost 20, also known as the Lost, just the Lost, was a name given to a group of 20 Jedi Masters who left the Jedi Order throughout its history.
So they had to be masters, okay.
And this is canon.
I thought it was.
But on the other hand, though, I mean, they could each start their own shoot-off. I mean, that 1,000 years.
Oh, yeah,
So, I mean,
I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying, I don't know when the Lost 20 started, but whenever they refer to it in canon, it's like it didn't happen that long ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But on the other hand... sorry.
Sorry, this just says, who left the Jedi Order throughout its history. It doesn't specify the time.
Yeah. But in the 1,000 years that they've seen a Sith, like, that would be, for them, the first thing to think, because they've seen that before. Like, they've seen Jedi leave. And may have even had to fight them at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because at this stage of the Republic, I mean, that's most of the Jedi's job, is to, find little pockets of
cells,
of things that are standing against the Republic and stop it.
or what
Like,
they
that's their-
perceive as standing against the Republic.
Yes, I mean it's like they're galactic police at this point, and so like I think that's why to some of them that aren't thinking of all the possibilities, they would think that just a dark Jedi is more likely than a Sith. However, they're wrong, but I
Yeah,
like
what
that. I like that. For the
What
story.
kind of interested me as well was after the meeting, we see Kiadi and that other Jedi talking while Sol
Yeah.
and Vern are talking. And I really want to know what conversation they're having.
Probably about how big his stupid forehead is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or he was like, you know how they let me have a wife and kids? I left them. Isn't that hilarious? That's probably what he says.
They thought I would love this woman and the children I helped birth.
I went out for milk and I never came back. I didn't even bring the milk back. I just
Now
drank
maybe
it.
if them kids had been Jedis.
It's okay, they'll go back for him.
Yeah.
And then Vern and Sol are talking, and Vern's like, well, Sol tells Vern, May just won't give herself to us willingly. We have to like have something for her to be able to turn herself in. And Vern's like, well, do we have anything that she would want? And for like a moment, I was like, no, we're losing Sol. Like, as this really stand-up Jedi, I was like, no, he's gonna do the same thing that Obi-Wan did to Anakin, and we're gonna see Osha turn. And then, Sol meets up with Osha in the temple, he finally finds her. And Osha is just like, straight out, oh, you need me for the mission, because you know you can't get May without me. And Sol kind of... I think Sol really redeemed himself in this conversation just with their whole dialogue and everything. I really don't think Sol is using Osha. I truly believe that he's trying to right the wrong that happened 16 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think he's trying to bring Osha back into the fold. I don't think he's trying to use her as like a weapon or bait or whatever. I really just think he wants the sisters to... Obviously, May would be taken into custody because she did kill 2 Jedi Masters, but
Yeah.
like for both of them just to have some form of closure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it, too, on that note, is Sol also doesn't want May to die. Like, he doesn't want them to have to kill her. And I think he realizes, too, that bringing Osha is the best way to make sure that that happens. Like, the best way to make sure that May stays peaceful, or as peaceful as possible.
Or for Osha to stay peaceful, because Osha's already been through so much loss. She just rediscovered that she has her sister. If she loses her sister again, could that push Osha?
Yeah.
Over.
But that's why I think this is a smart decision on Sol's part, because this is the best way for that to happen, for, you know, neither of them to die and things to turn out the best way.
Yeah.
Then we're on the ship, the Jedi ship traveling to Kofar. And was that a young Plo Koon in the background?
I don't know. Because
Maybe. It's definitely that species.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I've talked about it before in our Plo Koon episode. I mean, the Keldor are everywhere throughout the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
So this could be literally any Keldor. Because we just see the back of his head, right?
No, it's full front.
Do we?
Yep.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's so long ago. I'm watching now. We also see him standing outside the ship as well. A full, like, frontal view.
Huh.
But maybe. Maybe not. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, we do also know that, like, Keldor... I mean, I'm not Keldor. Plo Koon had, I believe, an uncle in the Jedi Order, and then also a cousin, if I remember right. Like, whenever he was there.
Gotcha.
Like, there were some of his family. So, I mean, you know, this could be one of them, too, because Keldor, actually, they live a long time, so...
Well, he's got to be part of like the flight crew or something, because he doesn't leave the ship onto the main mission, and he's not in the brief. Like, he's not a part of the brief that Yord gives.
Yeah. Well,
He's
that is
just
actually
kind of at the back.
that might be a point in Plo Koon's corner because he is an excellent pilot. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I'm not sure. And then the last thing for the meeting, I really like the dialogue between Yord and Osha here, where Osha's kind of distracting Jackie from the briefing because she wants to know about Basil or Brazel or whatever his name is, the little
Yeah.
mole-looking guy, otter, whatever. And he like tries to kind of, I don't know, put Osha in her place, and he's like, "Do you have any questions, civilian?" She's just like, "Nope, that was a great briefing, Yord."
Yeah.
I love that part.
she puts him in his place. I love it.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
what do y'all think about Basil while we're
11.
speaking
10
of?
out of 10 Star Wars creature.
I want him to die.
He is a cute little guy, but the way he shrieks whenever he finds something,
Screams. Yeah.
I thought that was so weird. But because of that, it was kind of funny.
He's a weird little guy. Give me 10.
I like that he screeches, but as soon as I saw him, I don't know what it is. I have some affliction with just little creatures where I just see him first off, and I'm like, they should die. Immediately, they should die.
Let's kill him and Pip. Just kill them
Yeah.
both same time.
Yeah. I want...
Let him fight to the death in an arena, huh?
No, I want Basil to choke on Pip.
You want him to eat him? Oh, that's so out of right field. I love it.
And somehow Pip, like, Basil has, like, some stomach acid or something because he's an alien creature, and, like, it destroys Pip beyond repair.
Okay. Moving off the ship, though,
Back to Kofar.
to Kofar. We're here. Do you guys have anything when they first get off the ship?
Not first off, besides, Jackie's, like, trying to communicate with one of the locals,
Oh, yeah.
and she comes back and tells everybody, she's like, all they could tell me was that Kelniak went into the forest and has never been seen again. And then Sol kind of, like, wanders off and stares in the forest, and he's just like, they're staring at this great expanse of land, and Sol goes, Kelniak is in there. And all I could think of was, no shit. The locals literally just said he went into the forest and hasn't been seen since. Like, the way they set up this scene and, like, visually and everything, they tried to make it, like, kind of serious. Like, Sol was somehow, like, communicating with the Force, but I was just like, what do you mean? Jackie just told you that he went into the forest.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But also in that part too, the reason he's like, doesn't everyone else like disagree with that? Like they hear the locals and then everyone else is like, well, I think we should check over here and over there. Or am I making that up?
No,
I
there's
can't
background noise of Yord and like the Yord trying to tell everybody what to do and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then you realize why they brought Basil is because he's a tracker.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And you're just really douchey about learning Basil's language.
Yes, I wrote that note specifically. I was like, because he's like, oh, everyone else tries to learn Shuruk, but I chose to learn a more nuanced language. And I was just like, I didn't want to learn Wookiee. I'm Yord.
I'm so cute. He's a douche.
He is.
Like,
Yeah.
Yord would be like, why would I learn Wookiee? I'll learn. He, like, it's literally like there's this book of languages or whatever that, or like this class list that you can take at the temple, and everybody's like, oh, I'm taking Shuruk. The Shuruk class is full. I hope I can get in. And Yord's like looking through all the lists, and it's some like, what's that old master from Clone Wars that
Oh, the one
Ahsoka
that's like-
has to hang out with that has the cane?
Is it new? Is it Master New? Or
I
something
think
like
it's
that?
Master Sanube.
That sounds right, Sanube.
That does sound. But I'll look it up.
And I imagine Master Sanube teaches Basil's language, which is like Tynan or something, or Tyronin or something. I don't know. Or Tinin. And he was like, I'm going to learn Tinin just because nobody else signed up for the class. And then Yord shows up to the first day and Master Snube's like asleep in this classroom. And he's like, oh, hello, young Padawan.
Someone showed up.
What are you doing here?
It is Sanube.
I don't know why he suddenly turned into a southern plantation owner, but... Well, looky here, Yord. I like wheat toast.
And he probably laughs like,
Well, moving us forward, we have the scene with the bugs.
oh yeah, dude, those things were creepy.
Why would she
Yeah,
touch the
very-
bug sack? Why would you do that?
Because she's never seen sci-fi from the 1980s.
Okay,
She's never seen Peter Jackson's King Kong.
let me
Alien.
just lay this down for you. You're in a forest on a planet you've never been before. There's stuff on the trees that you don't recognize. You're telling me you're gonna touch it?
I probably would. Sorry, boys.
No.
What's
that
this
thing-
weird thing?
You could. I was watching the episode and I looked at it and I was like, "That's a shell of a creature,
Yeah.
an egg sac." I was like, "That is literally what an arthropod looks like," and you're gonna touch it.
I think the big thing was that it's revealed later in the episode that I can't remember what it's called, but she clearly has the force ability that lets her connect with animals. And I think that was it. She felt the connection with these bugs and just kind of went into like a force trance until she touched one.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think maybe more she just hadn't been there before and just saw them and just thought they were interesting.
No, I think Elijah's got a point. I think she's.
No, Mac, Tucker's your favorite. You have to side with him this episode.
Yeah, so anyways, Elijah's stupid, but... No, I think she felt a connection to the Force and she kind of forgot what it felt like.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah.
And she kind of wanted to explore that feeling because it hasn't been around for a while.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And then Jackie and Osha have a really good conversation just about the Force and life and death and everything. And for whatever reason, I just feel like now Jackie's gonna die because they had this really good connection.
Oh, I gotcha.
I'm like, Jackie kind of seems too good to live for very much longer.
Only the good die young.
Hey, Obi-Wan made it to old age.
It's true.
No, he just looked old because of the Tatooine desert. He wasn't that old.
Yeah. Right. So, are we ready to talk about Kumir and May again?
Yes, I'm there.
Hit it.
This scene I really enjoyed, but I also just filled me with so much dread because May betrays Kumir. She wants to do the right thing. She's on the right path. And I just knew. I was just sitting there and I was like, everything's going to go wrong.
Well,
You don't just have a character on a redemption arc like this and it doesn't go wrong.
Yeah, I had a different thought. It's whenever her and Kamir, like, she sits down on the rock and they're talking about her achieving her task and everything, and she's like, I don't understand what the Master says about killing a Jedi without a weapon. The Jedi won't attack anyone who's unarmed and defenseless. Like, it goes against everything
How am I
they
supposed
say.
to do this? Yeah.
How am I supposed to do this? And I think it's a good callback to episode 1 where the masked guy staying on that rock is giving his grand speech at the end of the episode. And I think it goes more back to ideals. Is I don't think he literally wants her to kill Jedi. He wants her to kill the ideal of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
And for some reason here, I got this other vibe that I think Soul might die.
Yeah. I think there's a positive. I mean, he's one of the 4, so
Well, I started
I could
thinking
believe
about
it.
her and Kamir's talk here, and she's like, I don't get how to kill a Jedi without a weapon. And I was like, trying to think really hard about it. And this whole episode, Soul is just, he's trying to save May and Osha's relationship. and everything,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, what better way to absolutely rock the Jedi Order than to kill one of these masters who really cares about his pupils and the good of the Jedi. I was like, what better way would it be to destroy the Order than for this Jedi to go out on this mission to save someone that has strayed away from the path and has started going along the path of darkness, than for him to die trying to save the one that's gone to the dark side. Or
How poetic.
an avenue to the dark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah,
started
for sure.
thinking about it, and I was like, maybe Soul will die trying to save May to bring her and Osha together, and the Master's going to use that against them.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we get to May completely betray Kamir. I was just like, dang.
Come here.
May switched
just
up
trying to
so
do his job.
quick, dude. Like, everybody in this show just switches up so fast.
Right?
Yeah. But I mean, she's at a point in her life where, I mean, this is, probably the first time she's ever felt like she's really had some hope.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, thinking her sister was dead for 16 years and then finding out she's not, I mean, that's got to be life-changing.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like think about everybody's issue with Anakin's turn to the dark side and it quote unquote happening so fast, but really whenever you look at the story as a grand, thing, it's really not that surprising.
Yeah.
Whenever
yeah,
you
when
look at
really
his
pay
life
attention,
from 9 years old up until he's an adult, it's really not that surprising. But May's
Yeah.
story kind of quick.
well, but I think it's a similar thing. Like, it's only quick because it takes place within 4 episodes of a TV show, but
Oh yeah, I mean, like, what if Shmi
But if you
didn't
think about
die?
well,
You
yeah,
know
but if
what
you
I mean?
No, I get but I'm saying specifically for May, it's not that quick. It's also throughout her whole life, basically. I mean, at this point, how old are they? I mean, we can imagine that's been.
24.
Oh, okay. So actually, it's been, let's say they were 7. It's been 17 years. That's actually a pretty long time to be serving an acolyte and, be kind of in a slavery for 17
Yeah.
years. And then you find out that your sister's not dead and that you actually do have hope for possibly the first time in your life. I mean, maybe the rash decision to leave isn't actually that rash. Maybe it's something that she's been looking for an opportunity for a long time, and this is finally it.
And we also don't know when May got taken into the Acolyte fold.
Right.
That's true. But even still, I mean, without it, I mean, because she didn't have anybody before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I'm saying to your point, she could have been alone from the time she was 8 years old to the time she was like maybe 6 months ago that she started this journey, or a year ago,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think her turn here is definitely reasonable.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I can believe it.
Well, we already talked about Basil's scream a little bit. Should we jump to her getting into the hut?
yeah, as soon as we get here and she starts wandering around and Kelnek like didn't meet her right at the door, I was like, okay, he's a big Wookiee, but maybe he's like kind of hiding in the shadows, or he's gonna drop down from the ceiling behind her. And then it pans over to that shot just like of him sitting in the chair, and I was like, are you kidding me? They're taking him out episode 1.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, one thing I did like was that it wasn't her who just
too,
walked in
yeah.
and just killed him immediately. Like, I would have been, I think, more disappointed if she just, like, if he didn't even have time to ignite his lightsaber and she just killed him like that. Like, at least she was surprised, too, which I thought kind of added to the scene. And also, I think kind of makes you start to feel this dread as to like what's to come. Like, it kind of
Yeah, that scene plays so well because she's figuring it out while we as the audience are also figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like, you
I thought
see
it
the
was
fresh you see the fresh lightsaber burn, the room is filled with light, and then you see the look on her face where she's like, I'm too late. He's here.
Right.
And then the light switches to dark, and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Like almost, it would have almost been a perfect time for Moff Gideon's song to start playing. That like hurried violin music, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think it would have been almost perfect.
For sure. But no, as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, the Jedi are gonna blame me for this, of course.
I was there. Yep. I was there right there with you.
And then we get them surrounding her, and then are we ready to talk about the reveal?
1 second.
Yeah.
I hate whenever they're all outside, and I forget who said it's the white Jedi with the beard, and he's like, anybody who's in the domicile, like, this is the Jedi Order, the Galactic Republic, come out. And not 2 seconds later, you're just like, yeah, that means you, May. And I'm just like, why does Yord have to say everything?
So
Yeah.
that he feels cool.
He's the worst.
Yeah, and then the grand reveal. Dude, it was creepy, man. This scene was creepy. It actually, like, creeped me out.
Yeah. No, I like this bad guy. I really do.
This may ruin it a little bit for you guys, but the community's been calling him Darth Teefs.
Darth Teefs. No, I
Yes,
but
a smile
I think
on his mask.
I think the smile's perfect. I mean, I think that's
I do
terrifying.
too. Yeah.
Just the, him, like, descending in the background. Like, he's not in full focus or anything, but you just see, like, this figure coming down. Dude, I've always thought that Star Wars would be a really good horror show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this one shot proved it.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great.
And then him just like tossing Osha and then like blasting all the Jedi away.
More pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
Darth Teefs.
Darth Teefs.
I kind of like him, dude. I think he's menacing, dude. I really
Do
do.
you think it's a man?
I have no clue.
Do you think it's a human, an alien, or a
I-
dog?
I mean, he
The-
got that dog in him. I can tell you that.
The body type, it's either a young man, just for like their figure, it's either a young man or a very small woman. It's
Yeah.
definitely not a grown man, in my opinion. Just from
Wait,
the
Do you,
physique.
do you mean a small man or a like full grown woman?
Maybe a young
Like
woman as
a-
well.
Teen boy versus an adult woman?
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, because I'm just saying, like a young woman, odds are that she would be like significantly smaller than that. I think.
I don't know. Age is weird
Yeah.
in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's
Aliens
true.
are weird in Star Wars.
That's true too. It could be an alien.
People are weird.
Yeah.
I mean, is it specifically a moon? Perhaps.
It's not a moon. The fingers aren't right.
I'm just.
It's
kidding.
actually 3 basils in a trench coat, guys. Sorry,
they
spoilers.
just start shrieking.
It's actually Ugnaughts.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's the episode. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to bring up?
I'm so excited for Night next episode. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet, but I'm on the edge of my seat already. I can't wait.
I mean, we say it, but you know, it was a 30-minute episode and we talked about it for
About an hour.
an hour.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
We were all
So
worried
exactly.
that Acolyte wouldn't give us enough content, and here we are.
Here we are. Plenty of content to talk about.
Loving
And
it.
you know, plenty of good content.
Wait,
Yeah,
Tug
I'm-
didn't say his line that he always says.
What was it? A good batch? Is that what
No.
you're asking?
No.
What
What if
line?
someone wants to contact us, Tug?
Oh.
Oh yeah, Tucker's line.
Well,
Tucker always says.
So
no one
actually, real,
else.
real quick, I do have a quick thought. I was just gonna say that so far, I actually am very pleasantly surprised, very pleasantly surprised by Acolyte, and I actually like it like way more than I thought I would.
Me too.
I'm
Me too.
actually having a really good time. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
This
And we're only
so
halfway
far,
through.
So far, depending on how it turns out, this might turn into my favorite 2024.
Well, only Elijah knows how it turns out because he watched all of the show without us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you think that Elijah shouldn't have watched ahead, feel free to email us at animalsquadron@gmail.com. Again, that is animalsquadron@gmail.com. The question for you this time around, folks, is...
We don't have questions anymore.
No, but they can leave comments.
Is
Keep going.
Elijah a big old jerk?
Big old jerk. Abandoned the group. Watched the episode without him. Did something else that hurts Mac's feelings
Is
that I've already
Elijah-
forgotten about.
Is Elijah the Kiadi Moonday of our group?
Oh no!
I'm campaigning for that.
Please.
I'm campaigning
Anyone
for
but him.
That's why I
Okay,
picked
wait, no.
that. Look, you can either be...
Ponkrell, Kiadi Mundi, then anyone but
No,
them.
you don't get to decide how we make funny.
No,
you, don't get to
can either
decide.
be Kiadi or you can be Ponkrell. These are your choices. The people have spoken.
Oh, no.
I have spoken.
But yes, email us at animalsquadron@gmail.com, please.
This has been the Animal Squadron. I'm MotherGoose. Goodbye.
I'm HouseDog.
I'm Lowtech
Bye.
Tuck. Adios.